Put your smiles on. It's another episode of News Hazard. All the news is good this week. This is why I kidnapped you. Wait a minute. That's right. Danny's here in my house this week. I cut his hair.
Look at that.
What?
He can touch you.
We're going to talk about the news this week. There's lots of good news, all good news. The U.S. government has taken a 10% stake in Intel. Have you heard of Intel Corp? Speaking of computers.
I have.
You have, yeah. Well, the U.S. government has a 10% stake. This is on the heels of taking 15% of the revenues from NVIDIA sales into China. That's right. Trump has been owning the libs by imposing government control on corporations. Suck it, communists.
I mean, Intel's probably a pretty liberal group of people overall, since they're software engineers. He literally owns 10% of the company, dude. He's owning the libs, literally.
Comrade Trump seizing the means of production.
NewsMax has agreed to pay $67 million in a settlement with Dominion Voting Systems. This doesn't come with any admission of fault. NewsMax insists that their news was fair, balanced, and conducted within the professional standards of journalism.
I know what you're talking about. Newsmax ran a bunch of stories doubting the validity of the votes that came out of Dominion voting machines.
Basically accusing Dominion voting machines of stealing votes, using their software to flip votes from Trump to Biden at the behest of, I think, Venezuela? So, yeah,
Sure.
They sort of repeatedly presented this on the news like it was news.
But we're repeating it. We should change the story slightly so we're not liable on the same thing. They were changing it from Trump to Biden because of penguins in the Falkland Islands.
Wait, really? I didn't know that part.
You know,
No, it's true. Look it up.
Since they picked Venezuela, we could just choose something out of the Republican fear talking points Mad Lib, right? They're doing it at the behest of trans girls in high school sports.
Now, that was down from $1 billion, which is the amount of the official lawsuit, because, is it even a lawsuit if it's not for $1 billion?
Why even bother at that point, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. Phil, take it away.
Funny jokes. We're getting into funny jokes. Anyways, so a 4-year-old boy with cancer was deported despite being a U.S. citizen.
That's not funny. Wait a minute.
Wait, where's the joke?
Why did they do this? They wanted to deport his mom, a Honduran citizen. But, he's in the hospital, this little boy, and he has cancer, and he can't really be moved. So rather than not deport the mom and the sister, who is also a U.S. citizen, they decided to frame that choice as we can deport the whole family, or we can separate the family, leave, 4-year-old boy with cancer alone in a hospital somewhere with
That's a very fair framing. I was thinking the other day, I wanted to make a turkey sandwich, but I was out of lunch meat. And it's like, well, I can either chug mustard or use my own thigh meat.
I'm sure this mother was a criminal mastermind, well deserving of deportation as well, right? They're only deporting criminals, I've heard.
This is actually a happy story because they were deported to Honduras, not Myanmar or South Sudan, where they would likely be tortured in addition to missing their cancer treatment. So, silver linings is what we're looking at today.
I feel like having cancer is torture enough already, right?
Silver linings, man. There's always a bright side.
Don't worry, the orphan crushing machine was briefly paused.
Speaking of silver linings, we might be free of Trump soon. Recently, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, cut a department, the Foreign Malign Influence Center. So this was basically framed as retaliation against the Biden and Obama administration. They were using this Foreign Malign Influence Center to investigate claims like Russia wasn't involved in promoting Trump during the 2016-2020 elections. How dare this Foreign Malign Influence Center investigate things like foreign malign influence? Well, snip to that department.
Past presidents, Biden, Obama, they abused the intelligence apparatus to try to make intelligent decisions. But Trump has no such weaknesses.
This is the first $7 million of a supposed $700 million in cuts and 50% staff cuts, which makes sense. If you're not going to listen to intelligence or intelligent people, you might as well snip with the intelligence departments.
Where's the good news?
The good news is the last time there were significant cuts to the intelligence department, we were down a president.
Oh, God.
If Trump wants to go through these cuts, he better stay clear of Texas and away from any grassy knolls.
It's always with the assassinations with you, Phil. I mean, I thought, we could be rid of Trump. Like, maybe he'll become a monk. That's what I thought you were getting at.
Well, that was all parody and satire. Let's move on to some more serious news. AI does a lot for us. Gives us false information. It burns down the rainforests. It destroys our power grids. And now it's leaking our personal information. Hundreds of thousands of Grok chats were exposed in Google results. Apparently, unique links are created when Grok users press a button to share a transcript of their conversation. But in addition to doing that, the button appears to have indexed the conversations online. So there are 300,000 indexed Grok conversations just available for you to Google right now.
I feel like people must have written this code with the help of Grok.
This is a BBC investigation I'm looking at for this. Among the chat transcripts were examples of Musk chatbot being asked to create a secure password, provide meal plans for weight loss, and answer detailed questions about medical conditions.
Didn't the same thing happen with ChatGPT like a couple weeks ago also? They're all using the same vibe coding agents to build their broken websites.
I mean, that would certainly make sense to me. I mean, the whole end game of these AI models is to be more lazy about your coding, right? Like it's computer programmers trying to build something that can computer program to, I guess, get themselves out of a job. I don't know. That seems to be the end game. Is that not the end game?
It's definitely the end game, dude.
We're trying to get ourselves out of
Fully
life.
automatic gay space communism.
Is there any other kind of space communism?
Not yet.
The Ghislaine Maxwell transcripts were released from her conversation with the Department of Justice.
Is she totally innocent?
Apparently, she didn't see nothing.
I knew it. I mean, Trump is exonerated, right?
Clearly. Her trial where she was found guilty, I guess we can just ignore that, right?
I think so. What trial?
Mhm.
That sham trial? Banana Republic? Venezuela? Not guilty.
Yeah. And
Nancy Pelosi.
if you were going to look for examples of her fishing for favorable treatment, you could look to these quotes from the transcript. Quote, "As far as I'm concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me," Maxwell said, and went on. "And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming president now," she went on to say. "Barely even noticed the smell of his soiled diapers. The lifts look really great. Swelling? What swelling? His ankles are perfect."
He's 6'3", for real. It just doesn't look that way in the photos.
I mean, in heels. Phil, I mean, you left out the real big news of the week, though.
What's the real big news?
Cracker Barrel has changed their logo. They've had a rebranding.
Yeah, let's get in on this discourse. Let's really dig into why Cracker Barrel changed their logo to a generic corporate just text of Cracker Barrel because of woke, I guess? Is that right?
It's Democrats, yeah.
They were bought out by a private equity corporation. Nobody is more woke than private equity, dude.
Yeah, it's the woke. Even when it wasn't the woke, I knew it was woke.
I've never even eaten at a Cracker Barrel.
I have recently.
Yeah?
Like for 5 years ago, I went to the American South.
It's not that recent.
I mean, it's more recent than you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guess. Okay. Oh, it's like Southern like comfort food, just
Yeah.
like chicken and waffles kind
And
of
they
thing?
have like a general store in there with all sorts of like knickknacks and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Gifts, souvenirs.
Sounds delightful. How dare the libs ruin it?
It was delightful. And then they took the guy off the logo.
They literally took out the cracker and the barrel, dude.
There was a previous rebranding where that guy was very overweight. I'm not sure what to make of that.
Yeah, the truth in advertising law got weakened in the interim, so they didn't need to make him just huge from the food you'd get from Cracker Barrel.
Ooh, that was a lot of good news, guys. See you next week on News Hazard.
Bye. Stay tuned for another episode of Info Hazard coming tomorrow.
But only if you hit that like and subscribe button. We're holding a hostage.